Now, government says, well, I've made some payment to WAPCO, and that we won't see Dumsor again. Is this an assurance that you can bet your life on that, well, indeed this can happen?
You were told this in July. Don't you remember? The same government told you in July that they had dealt with the situation. They had agreed a payment schedule with WAPCO, and that there won't be any problem. That's what they told us, if you recall. This is not the first time we are experiencing this challenge. So it's not as if it's a new phenomena. They told us all what Honorable Japot is listing. They have told us they've made tier 1, tier 2, they've agreed on a structure with them, payment will be made regularly. I've seen letters where WAPCO severally reminded government of its failure to meet the terms of the agreement reached earlier, and even a letter that gave a final caution that we're going to shut the pipeline. Lo and behold, the pipeline was shut. And for the past 2 days, we've witnessed very severe load shedding, which is popularly known in our local parlance as Dumsor. So the question is, how can we trust government's assurance going forward? That's the most important thing for me now. Any other thing, we're just beating the issues over and over. And we trust what government is telling us. And are we in a position to ensure that we do not have a reoccurrence of this? The other leg has to do with GridCo, VRA, and Ghana Gas. Government has decided that they will put them at the bottom. They won't be in tier 1. Tier 1 are the IPPs. Tier 2, GridCo and the others. And you've seen GridCo senior staff issue a statement threatening to lay down their stools. Ghana Gas staff have issued a statement threatening to lay down their stools and claiming that the system, the resilience of the system is being compromised because they are not getting enough revenue. As for capacity charges, you would deal with them every day. As we speak, this government has signed onto power purchase agreements that is adding on to the capacity charge. So as for what you call excess capacity, reserve margin or whatever, it's not a new phenomena. It is for government to address that challenge. Because as we speak today, in 2022, government renegotiated the AXA deal and signed 370 megawatts. It is part of their capacity charge as we speak. So it will continue to be part of it.
All right, but
the issue is how do you address it?
Now, government says it owed WAPCO $19 million, but you are telling us that it was $30 million. I mean, why the difference? Is it that government is not being transparent with us, or what's the issue?
I haven't mentioned. Is it minister or myself?
I mean, minority was telling us that $30 million is what they owed WAPCO.
No, the previous one was about 20. We haven't mentioned it. I don't know who mentioned the 30.
Okay. Now, we've been running in circles with regards to handling the debt in the energy sector. You've been there before. How can we really deal with this issue so that it doesn't become, this whole yearly affair of somebody threatening to cut off power before the state, moves into settle?
The first thing is the losses. The losses is moved to about 31%. Almost 10 percentage points. That is a huge loss. For every power sold, about 31% is unaccounted for. Based on the latest figures they brought to us in Parliament, ECG's own figures is moved from about 21 thereabout to about 30%, almost 10% in terms of a widening of the losses. If you close that loss, then you will be reducing the burden. Indeed, if 90 million is a major problem, then we have a serious problem to deal with. If 19 million and lead to this situation, then we have a huge problem as a country. Because I thought that a country the size of Ghana and given our GDP, 19 million should not lead to load shedding of about 600 megawatts. So the losses, that is one.
Okay.
Two is the unnecessary interference. There is too much political interference in even the cash water for mechanism itself. And the industry players are complaining. It's not me. GridCo is complaining. Ghana Gas is complaining. So it's not in the minority. The industry sector players themselves, they are complaining. The other issue has to do with Ministry of Finance. if the Ministry of Finance mismanages the economy and the cedi depreciates the level to which we saw, then government must be willing and ready to make that payment. The last one has to do with this unnecessary tax they are imposing. I thought that they would have rather converted that into the tariff adjustment so that that revenue will be available for the power sector players. Because to pay about 21% extra on your electricity consumption, a domestic consumer, and that only goes to central government for central government expenditure, when you can't even get revenue, I have a problem with that. And that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
I think that is uncalled for, is needless.